Hey, what's up? This is David Benjamin from Healthy Wild Free. I want to talk to you today about how to become conscious of your breathing patterns. And the reason this is important is because your breathing patterns dictate the state of your nervous system. And when you dictate the state of your nervous system by breathing in a rhythmic manner, whether it's faster or slower or somewhere in between, you're actually conditioning your nervous system to respond to your breath. And when you condition your nervous system to respond to your breath, you begin to have power over your nervous system. And your nervous system is the electrical system, the electrical hardwiring of the body. So, for example, your vagus nerve, which runs from your brain stem all the way down to your gut, actually communicates your gut to your brain and your brain to your gut. And it's a communication pathway that the body utilizes in order to make decisions for the gut, make decisions for the metabolism, in order to alter brain chemistry, which brain chemistry or neurotransmitters are both created in the brain as well as the gut, and they respond and adapt accordingly. So the reason this video is so important is because your breath conditions your nervous system. And if you're not conscious of your breathing patterns, your nervous system will be subject to the negative breathing patterns that you may have ingrained in your life. So the first thing I want you to remember is that noses are for breathing and mouths are for eating. I read that in the book, The Oxygen Advantage. Noses are for breathing and mouths are for eating. So keep that in mind. That's just one of the important tips and tools to kind of consider when you're breathing, is just to remember to breathe through your nose. But the most important thing to understand is that there's sort of a scale, right? So in that scale, you can be breathing, you can essentially stop breathing. So you can sort of pause, and it's sort of that that inhale, and then that just kind of freeze response that the body has, that the nervous system has. That's when we can stop breathing entirely. And the reason it's important to understand that as one end of the scale is because when we stop breathing, unless we're doing it in a manner that we've sort of like trained and we're doing breath work, when we stop breathing under a state or condition of stress, their nervous system is in fight or flight. And when the nervous system is in fight or flight and then we stop breathing on top of it, we are pausing the rhythmic manner that we give and receive oxygen. And what that does is it throws our nervous system into a state of fight or flight. And then our parasympathetic system is no longer parasympathetic, it's then sympathetic. And many downstream effects that are negative in our health come from that. Our metabolism doesn't work as well, our immune system doesn't work as well, our brain chemistry becomes altered, we become stressed, and we make decisions poorly. There's many negative downstream effects from going into that fight or flight response of the nervous system and having the breathing sort of condition being directly correlated to that. So that's one end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is anxiety. And then with anxiety, we breathe too quickly. It's this sort of a heavy panting, and we're breathing into the chest as opposed to deeply into the diaphragm, which is a much healthier form of breathing. So it's really important to understand that the body and we need to breathe properly in order to condition our nervous system, to condition our metabolism, to condition our brain chemistry, to condition the parasympathetic nervous system, the stress response, to condition our body to respond in a healthy and productive manner. And if we're not doing so, it becomes very easy to have issues in our health that really stem from our breath and our patterns in breathing. So with that being said, what I want you to know and learn from this video is that you can, on one end, stop your breathing, completely stop it. That sort of freeze, that it's fight, flight, or freeze response, that sort of freeze response where you just pause, then you can realize, okay, I'm not breathing. So become conscious and become mindful of your breath to the best of your ability. And then on the other end of that spectrum, having anxiety and panting, breathing too quickly and breathing shallow into the chest, that's also unhealthy. You want to breathe in the middle. You want to breathe lightly, calmly, and in a rhythmic manner through your nose and into your diaphragm, into your stomach. And that is important for so many reasons, which I'll get into the health benefits of nose breathing in another video. But I just want you to do your best to become more aware and more conscious of your breathing patterns, because your breathing patterns condition your nervous system. Your nervous system is connected to your metabolic flexibility, your metabolism, your brain chemistry, your neurotransmitters, all of these things that have to do with motivation, with fight or flight, with rest and relaxation, with energy, all of these different parameters are affected by the breath, the state of your mind, the quality of the decisions that you make in your life, whether it's financially or relationships, or even just going to the grocery store and choosing food to eat and put in your basket to purchase, are all tied directly to your breath and the quality and condition of your breath and how you breathe. So I want to remind you to become mindful and aware of your breath today. And in doing so, you get to recondition and gain control over your biology, your nervous system, and all of that in your life again. So become more conscious of your breath. This is just a reminder video. And I guess to add on to that, I guess I should give more application. How do you do that? How do you become more mindful of your breath? Well, it's very simple. Several times a day, just check in with yourself. It's really that simple. Check in with yourself. Ask yourself, like morning time, when you wake up, okay, how am I breathing? When you're eating lunch, how am I breathing? How am I breathing while I'm eating? That's another important thing. Very important. How am I breathing while I'm eating? If you're breathing fast and in an unhealthy manner, your metabolism is already, you're already harming your body's metabolism, while you're eating, and that's not a good place to be in. So, just check in with yourself multiple times a day. Just ask yourself, how am I breathing? And maybe there's something that you do multiple times a day. Like, for example, whenever you drink water, this is a great time to check in. Whenever you drink water, 8-10 times a day, check in with yourself. Ask yourself, how am I breathing? Pair that question, how am I breathing, with your habits in life when you're rehydrating, when you're hydrating again. Because the more you check in with yourself and the more you become aware and conscious of how you're breathing, the better you can entrain your neurons. Remember, neurons that fire together wire together, or neurons that wire together fire together, rather. So if you are training your mind to ask yourself that question and bring that to the forefront of your mind, to your prefrontal cortex, and becoming more aware of this, what you're doing is you're conditioning your brain and your body and your nervous system to be more aware and conscious of this. And when you're more aware and conscious of this, your breathing patterns improve. So become more conscious of your breathing patterns and become more aware of this, because it affects how stressed you feel. It affects your energy levels. It affects your brain chemistry. It affects your metabolism. And it affects so much more. Oxygen is the #1 nutrient for life. So it's incredibly important to be mindful of how we're breathing and to check in with ourselves. So I just wanted to remind you of that. Hopefully this video was valuable. This is David Benjamin from Healthy Wild Free. If you want to learn more, go to go to healthywildfree.com, click on the blog, and click there to learn more about how to breathe through your nose, and then visit the store as well. There's helpful resources there as well. And make sure to subscribe below, leave your comments, like, favorite, comment, and share below, and I'll see you in the next video, where I'm going to talk about how to posture your body, your breath, to breathe properly, the biomechanics of breathing, so to speak. So I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.